Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with a look and playtesting of Black Ice with TRE. This will not be some long developed series, but a look, see the compatibilities and bug levels of the mod. So if you're looking for a longer series, go check out one of the older ones. It will not be here. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the videos, all that good stuff. Partially IKB because I'm not planning on getting to any of the major wars in this playthrough. I just don't need the resources drawn down from those things. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to go check it now because I don't want to. Oh, well, let's save this here. Ready? Yeah, okay, well, this is. Well, no, we're just going to save it. Okay, I don't want to go into deficit. I thought I had reduced this down. I know I had. Did I reduce it? I don't know. Sure, I had. Down to just 5,000 instead of 15,000 or whatever. Or is this somehow the... I don't know. I went in and recoded these things. This event. Okay. This is a pain. Okay, well. You do that. Get that done. Okay, well. Huh. Okay, well, we saved it, so if this crashes the system here, we'll know what's going on. Okay. And we can come right back to the save without having to restart everything. Events. Third Reich. Search. I think we have it here still. No. Let's just go with. No. OLM. Right. Oh, no. Oh, well. Oh, maybe it's... Oh, we're way down here. Well, let's just get to the bottom of the SS events. Here we are. Okay. Winter Olympic events. Oh, no, it's down a little further. That's right. Maybe it's up. Did I scroll past it? I know this is exciting television. I'm sorry. Yeah, here, supplies 500. Why did it say 1,500? Why did it say 1,500? Okay, well. Not found. Thought we just determined that it was here. There it is. Okay. Oh man, did I guess I messed some of that up? Okay, I know how to sort of kind of fix this. I think that's what I did. I don't want search results. Let's no. Is it here that I messed with it? Did I just not save it? Thought I went and did all of this stuff. Okay, no, not Third Reich Events. This version here. Thought I did that to it. Don't know if it didn't save. Okay. Well, did happen to have this open here. Okay, where's the cheat commands? Strategy, okay, but I don't know why mine showed up. Oh, no? No, I'm not sure. Not sure. Okay, cue the console. Okay. What's everybody saying? Oh, just a little bit. You need. What's the car in your background? Oh, it is a I always do this blank on the name as I'm trying to think of it. Oh boy, it's an English car from the 1920s and 30s. Obviously that time period. Oh boy, I'll see if I can remember. Cheat code under miscellaneous. Okay, we found it here. It's not. Well, I'm going to just cheat into supplies. That supplies. What do we? Okay, let's come here. We can do this without crashing things. Okay. No longer receive money for supplies because, yes. Okay. Tab. So it just supplies. Is it just supplies equal? Well, gives that. Can I do a? Thousand supplies. I need a bunch of these. Okay, oh, okay. Okay, it's been a long time since I've done this. Okay, so let's do, then we put in the number 3,000. There we go. And it is absolutely fine if you cheat while testing and you're compensating for bad stuff. Okay, well this shouldn't be showing up at all, but now we'll deal with that. This should, and I think what it's doing is, because both of these events have the same event number, and I think it's sort of kind of, they're both firing, and this is sort of reading some of the stuff from the other one, but I'm not absolutely sure. Now, unfortunately, we will probably be seeing. Oh, what is Neil? Sorry, what? If you don't get the railway guns when the option comes, how do you get the ladder when needed? Well, I think you should be able to. Brigade attachment aren't railway guns? Can't you just build them? Maybe you can't. Thought you could. Well, maybe you can't. If maybe change that, because I thought it used to be a buildable unit. Medium, heavy. Right now I'm just testing. I did not know you could not get railway guns without going through the event. I thought you could build them. Maybe they are afraid of abusing it? I don't know. Maybe research them. Well, that very well could be. Would that be under artillery here? Don't know. Is there a railway gun? Because I know some of these should affect the railway guns. Rocket artillery, heavy anti-tank. Maybe they don't. I thought they did. Heavy artillery emplacements. Maybe they don't. I don't know whether I'm just mistaken about all this or they have changed. Because I'm pretty sure you used to be able to build them. But that's a long time ago since I was looking. And normally I do get the event. But I wanted to mostly see what steel and coal were doing. Without that. Okay, well, unfortunately, even though I did delete that from the file, we still will be seeing it loads in. To properly test this, I would need to restart to see if the Olympic stuff is gone properly and how it works, but we won't be doing that now. Likely we'll need another playtest before this is. Well, there is the event to do the railway guns, but I decided not to do that. We would give them supplies, yes. Yes, we want money. We'll wait for a few more offers to come up. Now, of course, railway guns existed in World War I, so yeah, sure. Really, it should be a baseline capability. Well, let's just go to that number. And, okay, yes. We want to do that, and we want to do international settlement. We have the supplies, good. Yeah. We're going to stay with artillery focus and not rocket artillery or pack artillery for these. We're going to build them as the Panzer shift. We want to do, I guess, heavy aircraft, gasoline engine welded armor. How are we doing in national unity and descent? We'll get a little bit of descent, but lots of supplies and a little money. No, we'll stop smoking this time, because this time we're doing better with both money and supplies, though. They had already, by 36, they had already stopped promoting these things. It's more just, nothing more is needed. Okay, here we're going to do appease them, which we'll do that. Pina Mundi, yep. Now, did I not? I thought I took out their version and we still had my version. Now a lot more consumer goods are needed, of course. Okay, that's still looking. NSKK, yes, and yes, remember David Frankfurter. Now we're back to a little bit of negative in steel. Sure, you can have energy. Bra bag. Yep, build the plant. Okay. And yes, we do have... No, we don't have... Oh no, we have the supplies, yes. Just not counting up well at the moment there. Okay, so... Massive negative in oil. Where can we get oil from? Yes, I know some of them, but where can we best get oil from? USA, they need money, they have oil. And so far, one of our sources being, why? Why aren't they, they have a deficit in oil. That seems odd. I don't know if they mess with that somehow. Okay, well, let's come back up here. No, we want somebody with positives. Okay, USA, since we're selling a lot of supplies to them, let's buy some of their oil. They're not wanting to sell us oil for some reason. Oh no, we're on Romania still. That's why that's not working. Okay. Yeah, I should pay attention. Okay, yes. Well, we need 93. We have a deficit already of money, so let's... Hopefully people will buy stuff from us to offset that. I always thought that Germany would be more light aircraft focused given their lack of... Okay, well, aircraft, I think it's the actual airframe, and light aircraft, I would specifically look at Japan and their lack of any armor within the aircraft IKB. That's how I'm taking this. And also, the Germans did a lot of sort of like heavy fighters, or interceptors, however you want to call them, being the Bf-110s. So that's why I would say historically they were heavy aircraft, but no, they weren't heavy or strategic bombers. At least that's how I would look at this. In any event, to bury Germany in this for the long run. These pre-posters that show all the bases which could be attacked from air raids. So risk was not. Yeah, no, there is no pre-war any significant underground production setup, because you didn't need that, because Goering was going to stop any city from being bombed with his Luftwaffe. So why would you build? And yes, I'm being a bit silly, because obviously that sort of was okay. Yes, we would give them supplies. Okay, I'm hoping this is my version here. 10,000 supplies. Okay, we gain the money. Nope, I think that is. I think that is the. Yes, we'll do that. And I don't know if it's messing up now or not on that, because I had a different Olympic event I recently coded up. Okay, well, this is the new graphics image. Okay, we give them supplies for money. Yes. I've changed the graphic image. How do you like that, folks? Does that look good? Maybe I should even change, because I was taking that one Vogue, one nation, one drink, Coke is it from that poster. I should probably change that. But Coca-Cola, I am looking into this stuff. They did even more sponsorship than I thought before on this. Yeah, why was Goering even an expert at anything? Wasn't anybody more competent? Well, Goering was in charge of the Luftwaffe. Goering was, I believe, the last commander of the Flying Circus. Baron von Richthofen, the Red Baron's squadron. So he was very famous before he ever joined the Nazi Party. And because he was commanding the best fighter squadron of Germany in World War I, he had a lot of stuff. Even better now. Getting prettier. Yes, thank you. Oh, yes, thank you, IKB. Because he was Hitler's lackey and could be that. Well, that's part of it. Yes, he becomes that. Now this is the new version, because it's 18. It used to be 8 money. I mean, it's not huge amounts of money, just because. But they did a lot of sponsorship. So yes, we want to move these for 0 cost to the top, and we will within a day see a spamming, or a day or so, of air bases around. We don't see mine coming soon. I'm going to be a little more worried about things. Probably remove the slogan though. Yeah, I probably should. Well, this keeps popping back up if I don't do anything, so we want to do heavy anti-tank gun focus, I guess. But that is not my coding to fix. Yes, you can have supplies. Himalayan expedition. More info, you actually get, see, if you do the more info, you get a little bit of mountain training, unit training bonus. Well, you don't get it if you don't look at all my pretty pictures. Okay, well. I guess enough of this Olympic testing right now. 5,000 supplies. We'll wait a few days. Yeah, the original Coke thing. And there's enough evidence now that I was taken in, and other people have been taken in by that rather good fake that somebody made. And they didn't make it in photo. Well, they actually made it in a printed thing and not just a photoshopped image. I mean, they may have made it Photoshop and then printed it out, but so I got fooled by it because if you notice that last image, and there will be one for the Summer Olympics coming up too, image. There are in existence, Olympic pins with the Coke logo for the that was a Winter Olympic pin, so that was definitely going around. Okay, well, this one we can sort of afford. Yeah, well, we can afford that one better now. Okay, national highways, very good. We would give them supplies, very nice. No, he's not a good tactical commander at Goring in World War II. No need. He was a reasonable tactical commander, maybe even a good one in World War I. But a lot of what I've read, pilots, in 1943 or 1944 coming for interviews with him, and he was telling them how to fight enemy aircraft and whatnot. It was just all wrong, all outdated, the wrong war, basically. He was still fighting or thinking he knew what he knew because of World War I without really informing himself of what's going on with World War II. Berlin Auto Show, and yes, we will take that for another 2,500 supplies, which we're going to wait on. Yes, we'll do that. Okay, I need to reduce the supplies in the regular Olympics event as well, if that is still part of the problem. Because that ate into that a lot more than I like. Okay, yes, now we can afford this. Okay, that's sort of what I was thinking I was waiting for. Well, several things popping up all at once, yes. Yes, okay, Goering, and we'll see some more of this stuff, well, when we play again and talk about more. Goering becomes the number 2 person in the German military after Hitler, after the fall of France. That is when he is promoted Reich Marshal. And so in the hierarchy of things, he is there after Hitler. Previously, it was Rudolf Hess, but Rudolf Hess was never there in the military sense, but was there in the political sense. And so even before Hess does his flight to Britain, Hitler is worried about being assassinated, because there's been lots of assassination attempts against Hitler even before 1936. He's even more worried about dying, and he wants there to be a clear succession and a National Socialist succession if he were to die. And so Goering is put in charge, or is put right under Hitler, and as the highest ranking military person under Hitler. Hitler technically is the highest ranking military person because he takes over the position once, basically once Bloomberg is removed, it basically goes to Hitler. Kind of crazy that Germany didn't do a kind of technological spy acquisition programs before the war, similar to what China is doing now. I think they were doing some of the industrial espionage, but yeah, no, there was a lot of industrial espionage going, but not so much the idea of a spy in a cape and a hat pulled over his head, going to some factory and say, "You smuggle the plans out, I'll give you, $1,000," or that would have been a lot of money back then, or something like that. There was a lot, and it's more like what we see with China now. There was a lot of industrial contact between particularly German and American firms. We'll see some events dealing with that. And so there was a lot of technical information going back and forth that Germany was doing, but it was sort of a bit more overt than spies, but there was quite a bit of it going on. Big investment is a bad thing to do. If you want jets, and I don't know if B-Ice has really gone in and redone the jet things. I know in the previous versions, back in 9 point whatever, they really needed to. They hadn't. I don't know if they've had done that. So either invest in jets or too far in the future and don't, but don't do the big one. That's my advice. I just put there in there if you wanted to throw extra money at it for some stupid reason. Players do stupid things. Let them do it if they want to. Okay, we're in a positive. Okay, now we are in positives here and here. I don't know if, we're still, meeting all of that. Oh, have we gotten any of... Nope, we've not gotten any of these done yet. I know it's just in February here. Yep, you can do that. See, particularly industrial, and technological spying is definitely sometimes even in this modern world done in the sense of someone either hacking in the modern sense or trying to break into things and get technologies, but a lot of times it's somewhat done in the open in that, hey, we want to hire you. You're working at some company, we want to hire you. Oh, and when you come over, will you bring the plan? Will you bring the your research notes and whatever else you may have? And so there is a fair amount of that going on. Okay, Saudi Arabia. No, thank you. Sure. Yes, you may have energy. We're now back to an energy supplier. Germany should be an energy supplier. Okay, yes, horse vessel. This is I hope it, well, I don't know. The Olympics, I'll work on solving that later. This is why testing is needed. Okay, yeah, this is doing the old version. We hope for a new version. We would give them money for rare materials. Well, we have the money. Okay. Yes. Artillery focus, yes. Yeah, we're going to continue that. That'll help us out. At least it should. Blended. Yes, we want them. And yeah, when we do a real playthrough, I'll talk about these even in more detail. Okay, we still need this Okay. And we're still not really, well, we've not built anything yet, but we're not really even building our factories up yet. Okay, so we get more metal, more rare materials, which is good. Cost us 10% supply of money, which is bad and maybe a bit overdone. I'm not quite sure the new stuff. We haven't gotten very far into the game yet. USA, man. New stuff in Black Ice. I guess you can look around their forum, and I'm sure they've talked about it. But I don't know right offhand. No, we don't want that. No, the Olympic stuff, what I did, I went in and recoded the event. When I originally did it, the events, and this was one of the very first events, because if you look at it, it's right at the top of the list that I was doing. I coded it so that the main events happened in sequence, and they happened like a couple of days apart, you know, so the opening ceremonies, the middle of the games, the closing ceremonies. And so you would get them, but they don't fire in, or they all pop up all at once, and so you don't get them in order. So now I've recoded, and I don't know why. I think it's sort of seeing two events because, again, more technical information. Gamers are an event for the sinking of the Blitzer if Germany invades Norway. No, because who says you send the Blitzer somewhere? We don't. I don't. Now, there may be in Black Ice, Toy Jet. I don't code things like that. If now there, you know, you can sink the Blitzer, but somebody needs to go in and sink it, meaning the Royal Navy or whoever. But there, I don't code. And yeah, I know the Blitzer was sent up here and damaged or sunk by coastal guns, but I don't have to make the mistake that was made historically. I'm not going to force players into doing that. Okay, so back to so they would all sort of jumble up. So now what I've recoded it for, it's supposed to, the opening ceremony is supposed to happen, then fire the next event, then fire the next event, and then fire I think it's the fourth one is now the closing ceremonies. So you get them in order and you can read them and go, all would happen all at the same time. With these other ones that are appearing, I think they're the ones that are sort of appearing from the Black Ice, because when you start this playthrough, it loads all the event files and saves them in the save game. So I can't just go in and change, which I can go in and change my stuff, but it won't affect a current playthrough. So I have to go back and do the whole starting all over again. And I'm going to have to do that at least to test out the Olympic stuff. I'm not going to hopefully have to play all over this very far again. So we will see. I want to get further than that today. I'm not setting any specific goals that we will do. So yeah, no, and I just cover the Winter Olympics. Really, I mean, there's a couple of things for the summer. I've collected so much information for the summer. I could probably make a 20 or 30 event chain for the summer. And yeah, it would just be firing one event after another, and I would definitely, I'm tired of this, let's get out of here kind of thing, so people don't want to click through it. But there's a lot I could do for the summer to really add some good historical and environmental stuff. Now, some of that stuff, maybe 30 or 40 events, I would stick more into either like an American, an Italian, a British mod, because they would be affecting more their athletes or their visitors to Germany kind of things, instead of just a unified. Okay, this badge you see here was issued in 3. I think this is the bronze, just because it looked the nicest, that I had the nicest photo of, silver and gold. This is one of the few, and maybe the only one, but in the 3 grades, that was authorized, SA badge, that was authorized to be worn on military, which mostly the Army, but Navy and Air Force could earn this badge too. Authorized to be worn on military uniforms. And this goes to the idea, earning the badge to promote military training. And so this was and people could get it without being in the SA as well. You'd have to go through the training program sponsored by the SA, but you don't actually have to join the SA to do this, go through this program. So this was one of the few party badges that ends up on a military uniform, and this goes to part of the SA's mission in training up people, sort of pre-training for the military. So you could read more about it there. So this whole thing gets you a little supply cost, little bonus across the thing, and various tactics and words. I would think people get this for the immersion and more in-depth feeling. Yeah, and pop-ups for history would. Yeah, I would agree too, but on a long event chain, I do often have an escape path out, just in case you're thinking it's taking too long. You know, things that are over 2 or 3. Yeah, we want Kriegsmarine Wharf, or, building pier in Wilhelmshaven. So 2 shipyards, radio house. And yes, and we get that from the radio house. Most players want all the immersion. I get very few people complaining about it. But probably most of those that really don't want it, this is dealing with the Ritter. This is the Reichsführer, Reich leader, Reichsführer school for the SA. There is sort of a leadership school going on. So we get another SA unit. I think it's down here. Yep, we'll attach him to our local SA thing, and we'll make him non-upgrading. That may be one of the ones that don't disappear when I remove all the SA and replace them. The type of people who would be into Black Ice don't mind. Yeah. Most aren't. Most who want to go want this. But I could become obsessive. This is the National Socialist Ritter Corps, Writing Corps. Now, this is another SA program that also includes a lot of non-SA and is somewhat outside of the SA hierarchy. Somewhat in the SA hierarchy. It's there, but they do a lot of stuff under the direction of the NSRK. Will be the writing clubs and the horse breeding associations. So there are a lot of people that are part of this organization that don't have a brown uniform because they're just some guy who owns a horse breeding farm, and maybe some of his laborers or some of his professional guys or whatever that works on his horse breeding farm, and they don't have a they may have like this little badge or something, but they don't have an SA uniform. They're not young healthy men that march around. They don't do any of that BS. They're just involved in and this is part of Germany's, not just the SA, but Germany's development of horses so that they can power the military. Horses to draw, cook wagons, because they make a nice little towed boxy wagon for field kitchen for the German army that they will stick it, just take the wheels off and stick it in the back of a truck and somewhat permanently put it in there, turning it into that truck into a mobile field kitchen, motorized. But they'll just tow them behind a truck, or they'll tow them behind horses. So it's whether it's that, or whether it's field artillery, or whether it's scouting, mounted cavalry regiments that are part of infantry divisions, or whatever. This is just to develop more and better horse flesh for the German military machine. So it's sort of in the SA, sort of in the out of the SA. And so you notice we're getting various bonuses for cavalry exploitation, I believe, is what that is being done here from these things to do that. Isn't this an event for bronies? Oh, those are like pony bros or something like that. Sorry if I'm not up on all the lingo. Okay. Yes, you can have energy. My Little Pony fans. Okay, yeah. No, I'm not a big My Little Pony guy to know what's going on with all of that. Okay, but yes, it could be if they're into this. Okay, we give them money for a little bit of crude oil, certainly. Okay, the flag, yes, we'll send support. Like that event, I mean, that whole organization never gets whole. I mean, they never even get like 1% of the Czech voting population to vote for that sort of fascist type party. But yeah, we'll support it, and yes, we will spend some money sending auto union cars to various races. Get back a little research from testing. Any Eat the Horses events? Nope, none that I've done. I'm sure at times, Stalingrad, they ate horses, but that is not something. I don't code things for Stalingrad, because why would I presume that the player is going to make the same mistake? And so the further into the war, the more things can change, the harder it is to code events. It was very German automotive. I don't know that it was poor. Any changes to it before the war that could have made it different? I would say the German automotive industry wasn't very poor. It was actually doing rather technically good from looking into it. Now, the Czechs were also doing really good stuff. Tatra and others. Tatra very much. No, I would say Auto Union and Mercedes-Benz had a lot of technical advances. They weren't they weren't selling lots of cars. They sold lots and lots of motorcycles, and we'll see there's an event dealing with motorcycle production in Germany coming up, and we'll talk more about it then. But technologically, Germany was doing rather well with cars. Yes, you can have that. Second London Naval Treaty. This is just more of an informative event. Hello, Shelby. Yes, and I have the, what is it? I'm going to butcher this. The Milia or whatever, the 1,000-mile race. I have a series of events dealing with the for a while annual. It was canceled eventually. Races, road race, 1,000-mile or whatever event in Italy, and Italy gets automotive bonuses, but they even more so than Germany lacked the overall infrastructure for motorization. It was even more so in Italy that it was an elite thing that you had automobiles even up until World War II. Germany was getting more and more things like trucks to doing deliveries, say in cities, and automotive operation in that more so than Italy in sort of industrialized motor use. And it was definitely, owning a car was even a low level car was somewhat of an elite or upper middle class kind of thing to do. It was the introduction of the Volkswagen, but nobody got Volkswagens because they made, I don't know, a few hundred of them, and the war starts. So nobody gets but they have, and we covered the Volkswagen program here. Yes, we will commission the Hanover, and yes, we have the supplies. Good. Oh yes, they were making, BMW was making motorcycles. Well, they sort of, wasn't it? Oh, no, I was BMW wasn't it BMW that had the first four-wheel vehicle in Germany? Wouldn't you call that a car? Yes, we'll give you more supplies for. Okay, yes. I doubt that will last long. 1936 elections. You can see the thing. Yeah, hey, you want to vote for Hitler? Yeah, just mark here. This is the ballot. What if you don't want to vote for Hitler? Well, yeah. We'll see some other ballot examples coming a bit later. Yes, you can have supplies. Didn't lots of Volkswagens get made right after the war? Well, that's after the war, and in detail, or in fact, they made lots and lots of Volkswagens during the war. They were called Kubelwagens, and they're the sort of German Jeep that you're all familiar with. That's the same, because if you notice that the engine's in the back in that thing, it is a only, it's not a four-wheel drive, it's a two-wheel drive vehicle, so it's not quite as good as the American Jeep in that sense at all, but it is light enough that 4 or 6 guys can get it out of most stuck places just simply by getting it out and, having nobody in it, not too heavy, lifting it out of being stuck. So it is a reasonably good cross-country vehicle, and they do more, wider tires. Eventually, though, I think some of the widest ones are for like the sand down in the deserts in North Africa, but, they try to get that. So that is, engine, transmission, wheelbase kind of stuff. The civilian Volkswagen, just in sort of a rugged military body. And so that factory basically, I think, survives the war. I don't think it's blown up. Not a high priority of the Allies to blow up. And gets converted back to being Volkswagen Beetles. That we said, why were the Germans surprised at the Soviet rail cars? They weren't surprised. They weren't surprised. Now, Poland had a dual, IKB can talk even in more detail than any of us on this subject here, being that he is a railway expert. Okay, what is political indoctrination of troops? That is here, and we are stopping that. And I do cover some more of that stuff. We'll do the heavy AA guns. They weren't surprised. They just didn't plan on it well. Poland here had a mixed system. All the former German Empire territory over in this part is all in the European gauge, and all of the other of it is on the Russian gauge. But Poland, during the interwar period, starts and converts at least the high priority rail lines over to the European gauge. Probably, okay, I was hitting pause when I probably shouldn't have right there. Hopefully that worked. Okay. Probably most stuff going in and out of Warsaw and whatnot get over to the European gauge. A lot of the other stuff stays the Russian gauge. They just don't have the money or whatnot to get that all converted over. Okay. Yes, energy diplomatic report. This is just notifying us that a diplomatic report. So there's an event that triggered this in Czechoslovakia, so they get the benefits of this. The National Assembly passes a law on national defense, basically a budget that increases certain things for national defense. Okay. Yes. Full divisions. Yes, we'll do that. Form these guys. Yes. Let's take a look at our production. Anything? Yes, these guys should all come to the top. Let's come down here. It'll be quickest. They should have been up there before, I think, from one of the earlier events. But they'll go to the top. We'll keep these down here. Since at least most of these, this not really, but most of these have some starting bonuses, you might as well just have them there and leave them and wait till you're ready to actually start producing them. Yes, it's playable as a minor, just done vanilla. Hello, Zoltan. David, how you doing? Yes, it is playable as a minor. You can. You can have TRE as you know, playing as well. I'm still not sure whether it makes Germany harder or easier to play, because there's lots of costs involved in this. And we're not going to do this right now. Oh, we don't see right now. If I were to click to go to production, I would crash the game. Again, everybody here, pay attention to this. If I were to click right now production, because this has gone to 0 because of some event that just fired or something switching over, if you click to go to the production screen, and I don't know what's exactly causing it, other than probably one of the events that just fired or some effect going on, but just wait, because whenever I want, oh, why is that at 0? I want to see that. It will crash the game, but just wait for a day, and now it's back and we're fine. Okay, so now it's fine. And I've seen this happen not with TRE, you know, the standard, but it happens, I think, more often just because I do more with things. So I don't specifically know what coding element it is that I'm doing that I could maybe change. But right now, just live with it and just know never to click that. We'll do that. Let's see. British occupation forces found the factory and found a VW prototype. They needed more staff cars and vehicles, so they had it put back in production. Ah, very interesting, IKB. Very interesting. So if you're playing against Germany, having TRE installed, I don't know if it's a good thing. I've coded it so it all works with the AI, but I don't know that it makes Germany tougher or easier to defeat. I don't know. Okay, yeah, we're going to continue training. Big increase. Probably the standard is because you notice you can get a little bit more out of it, but not quite worth the supplies. And this is a photograph. I guess I'm proud of my work here. Motorsportschulen des NSKK. So they've built this, what I guess, if you count the roofs, attic stories, which I presume there's access up there, but mainly a 3-story building here that's pretty big. They built that, and then they have next to it here this garage that I presume expands a little way beyond the photograph here. That's all built, and this is, you know, for garages. So this is they run a 6-week driving and mechanics course, and it's 23 motorsport schools all over Germany. They have at least 23 of these things around, and so they are really trying. Notice it also includes motorcycles, but they're really trying to motorize. And this is going way beyond anything you're saying in Mussolini's Italy at this time. So yeah, they were also doing cars, but not quite as infrastructurally getting it out to the nation, as you will. So it's just 23 of these schools. I presume they're roughly this size and scale as in the photo. So you get a little bit of mobile unit and armor unit training and recon unit coordination. Those are just sort of what I training level training base level 1 there. Just added 1 base because it spewing out everywhere would be a little bit much. Okay, machine gun focus. That is, I think, here. So we'll stop that. We're still doing bomb, incendiary bomb. Let's do twin engine bomb bay. Keep some of that going. Okay, well, I forget what event that may have gutted our steel. I wish I paid a little more attention to that. Because again, it used to be, and I know not everyone's been here the full time coming and going, but it used to be a lot more, you had a lot more excess steel, and I was trying to pull that down somewhat artificially. So I've been trying to moderate my earlier stuff that rebalance with the current version. Okay, what we're going to do here is let's reduce this down to, we'll try to get some more of that in. Let's see how that does. Special Forces branch upgrade. Just grayed out. Okay, we're, yeah, a bit deficit because of various things. And what just hit? Okay, artillery brigades. Yeah, we'll just cancel this one. Okay, well, we're getting close on steel manufactories, which will... Okay, currently we are... Let's take a look at this before these hit, because I don't think any one... Maybe one got completed, but that would be max or something. Okay, we are importing 8 metal from Sweden. Is that it? I thought we got... Okay, no, those are rare. Those are rare. Okay, so we're only importing 8 metal from Sweden, and currently we have 28 above needed requirements right now. So when all these hit, let's sort of take a look at how much that jumps up. Maybe somebody can remember that. And steel was definitely a limiting factor for German production. And quality of steel was also a limiting factor for German production. Yes, we'll build the school. Again, metal. Yeah, there's built metal and all that, but we're going to wait until we're a little bit more positive on the amount of metal. Okay, well, let's look for some more oil. Iran, okay. Let's see if we can do it. No. We want to do a trade agreement with Iran. See if we can buy oil. Okay, they have 25. We need 50. We want to get to a... Nope, that would be impossible. Let's give them a little bit of cushion so they don't cancel on us. I'd prefer them not to cancel. Turkey, 17. Okay, let's see if Turkey will sell us like... Nope, they don't like us enough to sell. Soviet Union only has a surplus of 2. With Ploetzi out there, they have a little bit, but not enough. I don't know why, and if they've done something to Romania. They're running at a crude of or deficit of 3.5. I don't know what they're doing with that. I may go in and change that because they should be supplying us. Well, we might want to sell more supplies to the US, so let's see if we can buy from them some oil. It's 40. I think we've done about 20 some, so let's do that. Because we could stockpile some oil too, that would be nice. Okay, yeah, I think that may get us to the positive. Probably shove us into the negative here, which is fine, because hopefully we'll be able to sell some more stuff. How much fuel does Romania have that might converted? Well, they convert... The conversion, I don't know the formula, but this conversion process is based upon sort of supply production, I think, as well. I think that's it. It's some sort of strange formula. I don't quite understand. I don't know how to shift and modify it much. Okay, so we've got cavalry exploitation advance, partially because of our benefits. But it says we can go to mobile unit combined arms, operational doctrines. Here, operational doctrines. Okay, so we could go here, but we're not going to do that yet. We'll keep researching there. How are we doing for officers? No, officers, we're not doing enough. We're at 74%. So I think we're doing over research on our technology and not enough on our officers. So diplomacy, we have 135. So let's lock this down for the moment. Unlock that. So let's just, yeah, let's see, can we go down to 1 or a half or a third? Okay. Lock that down. Espionage. Well, we haven't been doing any espionage, but let's, not that we don't want to do any, spying for that, but we'll lock that down to that. That will help a little bit. We have had some events that have taken down. Yeah, I know let's get this up to 20. Or nearly that. Okay, no, we'll leave that to float. We'll lock that down at that. So yeah, I don't think Romania has enough industry to be overly converting much of its fuel to or oil to it, and we are buying. I didn't know if we were selling any fuel to them. No, we're not. We are selling fuel to some nations. Yes, okay. Metal. Have we gotten enough metal yet? Not quite enough metal. Okay, they probably want more stuff there. Metal, yeah, okay. Do that. TV in Germany, yes, they had it. I even found enough to make an event. Well, I already have some, but enough to make event for the first football game to be broadcast in Britain on television. Okay, yes, we're doing that. And Han Shuren in the red, yeah. Yeah, they have a fuel surplus, but I think that is more on the effect that they don't have a lot of stuff using fuel. Yes, we'll build a radio station. Now this rad funk is specifically, notice it says Germany calling. This is outside, I want to say overseas, because I'm either using sort of the American or the British term, which normally outside, at least for America, going to Canada or Mexico, it's overseas, and everything outside of Britain is overseas. But it's broadcasting to other nations from Germany. So this is getting minor benefit, good propaganda going out. And we'll wait for a little more build up here. And so yeah, nations should just generate fuel based partially, on their oil capacity, and then and based on their production. Yes, we'll sell you energy, we'll sell you supplies. Use supplies. The smaller ones mostly are just there to help us with diplomatic relations. Come on, build up a bit more. Okay, just deployed, I think, a bunch of roads. Okay, radio advances is what I think is, oh, and the tracks. And we are currently overdone, so we'll just remove those from the war economy. If you're Iraq, I don't understand why we're negative. Oh, we're slightly negative. You need more? Yeah, need, but just barely. I don't want to keep going dipping into the negative with all these. And this is going to be more metal. Well, we'll get to leadership, which will help with the research. Oh, more metal. Okay, 2,000 metal's too much for this. I'm absolutely certain they had metal beams and whatever in that building, but we don't quite need all of that. I'm going to keep us from going into the negatives. Okay, well, looks like, well, there's a lot more coming in here. Let's see, can we buy some more metal? Okay, who? Or no, we want to have a positive. Prefer not to buy from America if I can help it. Does the Soviet Union want to trade with us by any chance? Sell us? Yes, okay. That'll be just a minor expense in comparison to things like oil and rare materials. So hopefully that will help cushion things a little better. Yes, you're right, IKB. Like I said before, it was like not a concern for the player, and I was trying to make it not like this, not like gotta watch it. It was just trying to keep it from building to a like, hey, I don't care about metal kind of thing. I've got enough stocked up that I can fight the whole war and I'll never have to import another thing, because that's sort of how it was. And this is just too much, and I don't want players to have to do this. That wasn't my intention. It was, like I say, just to keep it from being overly stockpiled. So I'll go through and reduce this some more. Oh, and here's even more coming, and this is, yeah. It's affecting the USA, not us. Horse vessel. Yes, metal. A lot, well, not as much as the Reich Lustarium. Okay, this will get us lose some supplies, gain money, a German Yugoslav trade agreement, yay. Okay, we could use the money a bit. Military police advanced. What's its, we'll just stop it. Seabad Pora. Oldenburg, okay. Brief that. Metal 350, okay, yeah. Like that one did have an escape event if you didn't want to read or go through that again. Yeah, we've been able to get rather good up there with supplies. Okay, industry advance. Well, more ICs, supply production up, manpower down, and that should mean we stop the industry. I think that's industry. Oh, and welded. Both of these need to be stopped. But okay, so we have a slight unused amount of research. We're catching up now with the officers. I don't think I'm gonna shift more in that. You want to get more than 100%, just so that when you start taking losses, you will not go below 100%. Okay, this is the Reich Ritterführer school, sort of a training school for leaders in writing, not just, okay, we have units can be deployed. Where do we have units deployed? I thought, we're producing. Okay, so we've gotten through all of that. Now we're up at 99, and we're doing, okay, we had been doing 8, and now we have 15. Okay, it was what, 40 some benefit there? Okay, so we've got a huge benefit coming in of more steel, so that is helped us out considerably. I think we need to do more. Oh, come all the way over here. Okay, yeah, we'll do a couple or a few more in at least the big locations for steel, which I think are like down here, maybe here. And is it over here? That's just 10. That's 37. Okay, well, they're already having, okay, we'll do that. Okay, we'll do all of that. These will come to the top. No, they should have some industry. More. Okay, well, let's just add a few more around here. Out there, just to do a few more. And then we're going to come down here and put them to the top. But we're going to make sure that the ones that have been worked on considerably more are at the top of all that, and all the steel, because we want to get that the steel factories done. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that laying down the Bismarck is going to cost us. Hello, James, how you doing? Okay, so broadcasting, very nice. And that is, yes, too far in the future now. 38, we'll be back to that then. Or very late 1937 maybe, but we'll see about that. Air systems, what could we do now effectively? Controllable pitch. Yeah, I see slot stack in this mod where it would be more worth it. Well, where it's particularly worth it is where you have a heavy IC, one of these things, but we're already sort of having those and we're trying to build simultaneous. So only if you have a heavy one is it, that's a multiplier for these other ones. So yeah, but I think I've got all of the ones with heavy industry currently being used. Okay, well, we're up to 1,000 in, that's 2,000 metal. This is 450. Is this any metal? No, so we can do this. High speed train steam record, and yeah, we'll do Seabed Port, or we're starting the building of it. Never gets completed. It's still there. I think that's actually a modern photo that I black and white out on it. That is a period photo. They've gotten rid of the swastika stuff, but it's still there, and it's just sort of a hollow shell. Only a few wings or sections were sort of completed, interior-wise. Okay, yes, we now have bombs, 500 kilogram. And we can jump over and do, well, where's, no, pause. Okay, yes, we will talk about that some other time. Oh, I guess we can't do more. Okay, yeah, we'll do incendiary bombs. Yeah, and you can't build the heavy industry, because you could in one version for a brief time, but it was so easy to just spam them out, and was too much of a exploit. So now they're only given via events, the heavy industry, so they multiply. And so they're otherwise, so if you have, well, this one has heavy here. So here in Leipzig may get a heavy industry, because some of the stuff is random based upon, I don't know what the minimum is, like 3, 4, 5, I don't know, and there'll be yearly a random spamming out of, if you click the right things, to those cities to get a heavy industry capacity through things like TRE and possibly other submods, which I don't have installed right now. They may give other heavy industries out, so that is a multiplier effect for here. So if you don't have this, other than the idea that you have that, an anti-aircraft gun, or possibly fortresses if you're being invaded or something like that, there is no particular benefit out of concentrating your industrial production that I know of. You know, like as in being closer to steel or something. Obviously, in real life, you build factories near steel and coal and whatnot. So, but in the game terms, I don't know of a benefit there in that way. So yeah, I will just sort of paint the area here with some, while also making sure that all of the ones that do have, as much as I can, and if I was just playing on my own, I would pay even more detailed attention to it, making sure all of the ones that I know that have a heavy industry are also building, as well as the other ones I'm putting out there. So long range submarine types, good, so that we can get past Britain without you know, going around easy enough. Okay, and that will allow us to start doing that. And we're going to end the episode here. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos if you haven't already. Subscribe and click the like button. Thanks so much. See you next time.